Hello, my name is Adesu and welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome again and thank you for keeping it locked down. So first thing I like to do on my channel is to run you through all the ingredients. I will still be listing it anyways, but I would just like you to get familiar. So these are the protein I'll be making use of: cow leg, stockfish. This is the blended ogbono. I blended that with some peppers and some crayfish. This is the beef. This is our palm oil, very rich palm oil, by the way. Now this is our crayfish. We're still going to bring that to a blend. We'll have some dried pepper. We'll have beef seasoning. We'll have fish seasoning. We'll have chicken seasoning because variety is the spice of life. We'll have some salt, and we're just going to get started already. So the first thing you want to do is to make sure that you make your protein very tender. For me, I like to boil this cow leg for at least 40 to 45 minutes. That is basically because you want your protein soft. And we don't call this a realistic channel for nothing. Did you see what just happened? Well, I picked that up and I rinsed it and returned it to my pot. They are not behind the scenes here. We are very detailed and raw with what we show you. So while we cook our cow leg on one side, we'll be cooking our beef on another side. The essence of this is basically because they have different consistency, and it takes a while for the cow leg to soften, unlike the beef which requires about 15 to 20 minutes to get tender. So thereafter we're just going to season this to perfection. For me, I like to mix variety of seasoning, like I said before. So I just mixed everything up, basically because we want this to be very flavorful. So I have some boiling water and I just poured that into the pot. So basically it starts cooking immediately. So next thing is to cover your pot and give this time to cook while we proceed to do other things. And also, if you like heat like me, do well to include some scotch bonnet like I just did. So as usual, I included scotch bonnet to the cow legs and to my beef, and then I cover this up and I give it time to cook. Don't forget, the meat goes off before the cow leg. Now it is time for us to get down to other things, and I'm just going to slice my vegetable. For me, I am using Oziza vegetable, but just feel free to use anything that you like to use. You could use pumpkin leaf. Some people even add okra. That's not bad anyways, but for me, I just prefer to use this particular vegetable, but feel free to use any vegetable that you have available. So now the stockfish, usually I like to wash this with I run some cold water on it and wash it for about 4 to 5 times, because the process of this stockfish, you know what I mean. So I just wash this very well. I include some salt to the water, basically to make sure that it is very clean. Thereafter, I get another bowl of warm water or lukewarm water. Then I put the washed stockfish in it. I also add in some salt and wash it properly. Now I transfer to a microwave compatible bowl. I put that in the microwave and allow it to cook for about 10 minutes just to loosen it up a bit, and I pour this back into cold water. Now this is our blend of ogbono. I'm just going to pour this into our palm oil and I'm going to mix that up. Eventually, if you need to include some more palm oil, just make sure that you adjust this according to what you like. If you don't like so much palm oil, make sure that you are putting the palm oil inside your blend of the ogbono instead of pouring in like me. But for me, I already have my measurement, so I can actually pour the blended ogbono into palm oil. But if you are a beginner and you're just learning how to make it, I would advise that you put your oil into your ogbono so you don't include too many. So what I'm doing basically now is just to mix this and loosen up the blend of ogbono a bit. Anyways, to loosen it up more, we're going to put it in our pot, but let's just keep on mixing, and that's what I was doing. At this point, the cow legs was soft enough. I checked. I had to check with my hand to be sure that it is soft enough, because you basically want your protein very soft. You will not be cooking this for too long, so make sure that at least your protein is about 70 to 80% tender. so that you don't have hard protein. Anyways, feel free to do what works for you, but for me, I like my protein very, very tender. So thereafter, I just, the OCD in me kicked in. So I decided to use a new pot. I put all my protein in it, and I also included my stockfish and some lukewarm water. The essence of using lukewarm water is not a must. It's basically because you just want it to start cooking almost immediately. It takes some time before water boils. Now I put my mix of ogbono and palm oil in this pot to make sure that it loosens up a bit. Oh my god, that was so painful. This thing burnt my hand, but you know what, we move regardless. Bringing this out was a hustle. So thereafter, we're just going to add in some blended dried pepper. This is the dried cayenne pepper, but always feel free to adjust this according to your heat tolerance. For me, I like a lot of peppers, so that is why I use different variants of pepper, and cook that for about 10 minutes before you add in your ground crayfish. Basically, crayfish has a way of thickening your soup, so be sure that you don't have a thick consistency before adding your crayfish. I also covered my ogbono soup. There's a myth that you shouldn't cover it. If you cover it, it's not going to be slimy. That's a lie. If you follow this process, whether you cover it or you don't, your ogbono will be slimy. I just cooked this for another 15 minutes to be sure that everything is well incorporated and combined, and then I introduce my vegetable. This is the point where you introduce your okra if you decide to use okra. But for me, I used Oziza vegetable. I don't know the English name. I will probably find the name so I can put it in the description box. Don't forget that you still have to check the description box for a list of the ingredients. The essence of showing you at first was basically to introduce you to, make you get familiar with all the ingredients, even though it will be in the description box. Because sometimes going to the market and asking a lot of people don't really know what you mean. But if you've seen it, if you've seen a visual example like I showed you at the beginning of this video, it is easy for you to know what you want to buy. And now back to my realistic world. This is me just trying to do my photography and my trick, because your presentation for this is very important. So this is a process on how you can make your swallow very presentable instead of just putting it like that. So do well to go back and watch this video very well and just see the process at which I am trying to achieve a very presentable swallow, as against the regular just putting it on your plate bare like that. You basically want this presentation to be very, very okay, because people usually eat with their eyes before their mouth. So always make sure that your food is well presented before serving it. So this is a process on how you can actually get any swallow, regardless of the swallow, whether it is oatmeal, whether it is yam flour swallow, any swallow at all. You can use this process, and I'm making use of parchment paper. Some people call it baking paper, so that's what you should be using. And of course, the extras go back into my bowl, and I make as much as possible. But I just showed you how I made one partition of the swallow that I'll be using to serve this very yummy soup. Please feel free to drop me a comment as usual, and also drop me a like, and don't forget to check the description box. Can you see how good this looks? So we are basically just going to serve this now, and that is what I am doing. There are so many protein in this, but that is not as important as getting the process and the method at which you should make the soup. I want you all to try it, and don't forget to drop me a comment and tell me how it goes. Also, don't forget to send me a mail if you have any question. I've received quite a number of mails from people all over the world. So if something is not clear and you probably feel like I won't see it in the comment section, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.